What is up, everyone? My name is Maximilian, and it is Monday, June 18th. Now, there's been a little bit of news and information that happened over the past couple of days that I wanted to share with you guys, since a lot of you mentioned that you're not really up to date with what's going on in the fighting game scene. So I want to give you guys kind of a quick primer of what happened in the last couple of days and a few things that have me ridiculously excited. So the first and the biggest one is the fact that Third Strike Online, yes, a game that has been out for almost a year now on the Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, is going to be receiving a patch to change several things and adjust several methods of how the online play works in the game. So this is absolutely huge. Normally you don't see support from developers so long after the release of the game. Some of the more notable big things that they're going to be changing about how you play the game online are the fact that they'll be replacing the ping colors now with actual numbers, so this will make it even easier for you to understand who you're going up against and how good the connection is. Some of you guys have been asking in the past, what does ping mean and what does that exactly mean when you connect to a player? Ping is a number that relates to how fast you're connecting to somebody, so the lower the number, the better. When this eventually gets patched out, if you see games that are between like 10 to 30 to 40 ping, those are some fairly good connection games, and you'll want to connect to those people immediately because you'll have the best experience. They're also putting a matchmaking filter into the game now, so that'll allow you to connect to people around your location with better ping times, because the further the location you are from people, the higher the ping and the less the quality of connection will be. The other huge thing is the fact that they're changing the netcode in Third Strike. It's going to stay the same, they're adjusting it for the most part, but they are going into methods of actually changing and fixing the netcode and making it perform more optimally. There's a little bit of things that kind of bug me about the Third Strike netcode, one of them being the weird sound issue that comes in, but for the most part, Third Strike netcode runs really well, and if you keep performing and you get used to that stuff happening, it's actually one of the most solid online fighters out there. The other big thing is that the rank cap is going to be resetting to 0, so that was a big problem with this version that we've been playing right now. For any of you guys that have been following the Online Warrior and Third Strike, you can click right up there to find the latest episode. There's a rank setting in the game that if you rank 0, you are the highest rank in the game. And this can be really confusing because you don't know if you're going against somebody of skill who just started up, who didn't just start up, who's been playing forever. There's no way to tell. It went up to a certain number and then it went back to 0, and you stayed at 0 from what I understand. And supposedly this is getting fixed, so a lot of the guys that are of appropriate rank are going to get recognized for being the highest rank in the game, and that'll make it a lot easier on almost everybody, including myself, so I don't run into some match picking queue and then get totally slaughtered by a guy who is the highest rank in all of Third Strike. What's good to hear is that they're also investigating several other of the issues that are happening in Third Strike Online. There's a small thing that I can personally attest to, that you don't get your EX moves every once in a while, and it seems like you should. That EXs somehow get locked up and you do not actually get the EX move. They're investigating things like this and several other issues that have been brought up by the community. But that's really cool that they're addressing these things. They're not saying that they're going to fix them directly, but they're looking into changing them and possibly adjusting them in the near future. So that's pretty awesome that this game is still going to get developer support, especially for a game that's a classic that I think, like Third Strike, which is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. The next news piece and information that popped up, and this might not be for everybody, this is something that tears at my heartstrings so much that I wanted to make a video about it. They're making an art book for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I couldn't believe when they said that they were actually going to make finally an art book for the Versus series. Now this isn't just UMVC3, it looks like it's actually going all the way back to the history of the Versus series, like X-Men, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, and even games around that time frame and later, Marvel vs. Capcom 1. These games have amazing art, absolutely amazing stuff. It was my inspiration when I was growing up as an artist in my early teen years and before that, and it's really, really, really cool, the fact that they're doing this. This art book is going to encompass all those games and is supposedly going to be released in November of this year for around 50 bucks. You can actually go to Amazon right now and pre-order it if you want. However, there is another way. There is another way to procure this item ahead of time, and it's at Comic-Con this year. Now, the problem is, it's a hardbook edition, but it's an awesome hardbook edition that costs $100. Now, I'm going to try to do my best to get a hold of one of these copies, even though I'm not going to Comic-Con, which kind of sucks. I'm going to be a bit busy around that time frame with a lot of other stuff. However, when I get this thing in my hands, I'm going to do a special preview for you guys to give a heads up, not exactly like a huge spoiler preview of every single issue, give you my impressions of what the book is like, because, I mean, you guys might not know, I've been collecting like Street Fighter art books and, you know, everything Capcom art book related for a long time. These books have a lot of art that I referenced a lot when I was growing up, and it's really awesome to see it compiled in such a way that is really handled with respect. And this one's being done by the same guys who make the Street Fighter comic books, and a lot of the previous Street Fighter art books like the ones I just showed you. It was Udon, or it is Udon, and they do a really good job at translating and bringing the full translation of the artist's notes and everything like that in one book. So dude, I am so damn hyped for this art book, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't just get hyped for games and movies and stuff. I get hyped for little things like art books, and I'm really excited and I want to see that one come out. So leave a thumbs up if you guys want to see a preview for that book, and leave a thumbs up if you think that Third Strike Online being patched is freaking awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. I wanted to give you guys an update as far as what was going on and what was on my mind, but thank you very much for watching this little bit of news and information related to the fighting game community and the fighting game scene. This has been Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.